Good morning, Culers. Heads up. I know we're feeling bad. It was a rough day yesterday. I know we're all receiving the trolling online. I know we're all hearing from the trolls out there. I know we're all getting a little bit of teasing. Easy to keep our heads down, but you know what, folks? If I told you at the beginning of this year that Barcelona was not going to win Europa League, would you have been sad about it? Okay, so let's have some perspective. If I told you 6 months ago that Barcelona were going to be second in La Liga, have a fun run through Europa League, and have a bright future going into next season, would you have believed me? Maybe not. So let's have some perspective here, folks. All right? It's easy to take a turn to negative town. It's easy to turn on each other, to start being negative, but we're not going to do that. All right? Yes, we're going to talk about the match. Yes, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the Barsa, and there was a lot of bad. Okay, there was a lot of bad. So we're not going to ignore that. We, of course, will acknowledge what actually happened yesterday, which was Barcelona lost at home at the Camp Nou, despite having 75% possession. Whatever, I'm getting ahead of myself. In today's episode of Wake Up in Barsa, we'll be doing a full match review, the good, the bad, and the Barsa, from Eintracht Frankfurt 3-2 victory over Barcelona. I still can't really believe it, but we're going to talk about it. Most importantly, folks, if you are here for the first time, welcome to the undefeated community. This is a good day to find us. We're here to support the badge. We're here to support each other, the good days and the bad. All right? So we're going to have some conversation. We're going to have some caffeine. We're going to talk about the match. We're going to support each other, like I said. Subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation while we go over the full match review for Eintracht Frankfurt 3-2 over Barcelona. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Okay, good morning again, and just another reminder, folks, that we have reasons to put our heads down, reasons to be negative Nancy's, but we're going to ignore those reasons. We're going to keep a focus on the positive side of things, all right? We are going to do a full match breakdown. Like I said, we'll talk about the bad, and there was a lot of bad, but we're also going to talk about the good, the Barsa. I'm conflicted about the mustache man of the match, okay? I did select somebody. There will be a mustache man of the match award, but we may have to figure out something different for when we have these colossal losses, these colossal defeats. We'll see. Who knows? But for right now, it is going to be the mustache man of the match. It is going to be the good, the bad, and the Barsa. All that jazz coming up. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and do a match review, going over the stats first and foremost. Let's take a look at some of those key statistics, and then I'll get caught up on the chat. I'll say my good mornings, all those things. I know we need some love and support in this channel right now. I know the Stash Squad is feeling the sting. But like I said, let's go ahead and jump over, take a look at some of those key stats. A match overview from Eintracht Frankfurt coming into the Camp Nou, getting that 3-2 victory. Another red card for Frankfurt late in the match. Maybe I don't start at the end of the match, John. Maybe don't start there. Maybe we start talking in what happened at the beginning of the match. First 5 minutes, Eric Garcia, red card. What are you doing, John? Wake up. Hang on. Let's pause. Let's just pause since I haven't had any caffeine, barely got any sleep. I was up late doing my reaction video, being a little pouty pants, admittedly. Okay? We're going to do the overview in just a minute. I clearly need to shake the cobwebs out, have a little caffeine. How about I pause and say my good mornings to the chat? We'll do that first. You also, by the way, folks, have a chance to vote for what should go in the bad box. Should it be Eric Garcia for the penalty? Should it be Araujo for not stopping the second goal? Abba for the miss inside the 6-yard box? Should it be that there was no PK, no Des fully fit? Or was there someone else that should go in the bad box? Spoiler alert, it might not be any of those 4 options. Just saying. Levi, you calm yourself down. Good morning to you, but don't come at me with those accusations, sir. Kimmy, good morning to you as well. Culers holding things down. Says blow my nose real quick. Mine nasally. Hang on. I do need to blow my nose. Give me a second. I'm going to blow my nose. All right, I'm back. We're here. I got some TP. You guys don't need to hear this, so I'll mute myself. Okay. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, that sounds better. Thank you, Culers. Mother Culers over here. The mother of the Stash Squad. New nicknames coming up for Culers. I appreciate y'all. Any boogers? I think I'm okay. Yeah, we're all clear. Oh, I love the Stash Squad. Anyway, who else we got in here before we get into the match overview? Vid, how we doing, sir? Says Busquets was our best player yesterday. Busquets did okay. I'd have to disagree with you in terms of who was our best. Glenn says, greetings from Ireland. Found this channel yesterday, and I love the vibes. We have a lot to learn and grow from yesterday. Visca Barsa. Well said, Glenn. Well said indeed. That's a healthy attitude. We have a lot to learn from. We have a lot to grow. Still a lot of room for growth, I should say, for Barcelona fans. So you know what? We're not going to be too upset about it, folks. We're just not. Give me 1 second here. I got to move a couple things around, and then we'll get back into the match overview because there's still plenty of talking points. Still plenty of talking points. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll so you got just a couple minutes, actually like 30 seconds to go ahead and get your vote in for the red box. Man, a lot of you shouting out Eric Garcia for that penalty. I'll go ahead and close the poll here. Looks like about 56% of you. Yeah, 56% of you said Eric Garcia should get the red for the penalty. 31% said Abba for the miss inside the 6-yard box. 9% said PK and Des not being fit for this match. And a small 3% said Araujo for that second goal. I appreciate everybody getting their votes in the chat. We'll see if one of those four ends up in the red box, or did I have a change of heart after I posted that poll, and maybe it's none of those. We'll see. We'll see. I think eventually what I'm going to do, folks, for the good, the bad, and the Barca, I'm going to change up this whole look over the summer. This is going to look different. And I think eventually we will have some live voting going on, and we'll also have multiple things put in the boxes. It'll be a new layout, a new interactive segment that will work out. But before we get to that, before we get to the good, the bad, and the Barca, let's do a full overview here. All right, so the final was 3-2 Frankfurt. Those two goals were consolation goals. This could have been easily 3-0, easily 4-0, easily 5-0 for Frankfurt. Some of these stats are going to lie to you. Look at the possession, first and foremost. 75% possession for Barcelona, 25% for Frankfurt, and yet we were outshot 7-4 in terms of shots on target. I'll say that again. 75% possession, 4 shots on target, compared to 25% possession, 7 shots on target. Folks, that's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. I don't care who you are, what level you play at. If you have the ball for 75% of the match, you need to win that match. There's no excuses for that. So, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through it, folks. We're going to get through this, okay? We're going to get through this. Heads up. We're all right. Like Glenn said, these are growing pains. We have a lot of potential. We have a lot of potential with this club, but we are not there yet, okay? Sometimes we need these reminders. 88% passing. Look at the number of passes. Look at the number of passes. 683 to 232. Folks, Barcelona dominated in terms of possession, but we did not do anything with it. Eric Garcia gives up a penalty in the first 5 minutes. I don't even know what he was thinking. 2 hands around the player over the back, drags him down, and then he has the audacity to try to argue to the referee. In what world, Eric Garcia, is that not a penalty? I'm very confused where he was trying to come from, trying to argue, no, I don't, what do you mean? Me? I was just the guy bear hugging the attacker and wrestling him to the ground. How is that? Absolutely ridiculous. So we go down 1-0 early on. Blows our game plan out of the water. Outside of that, Ferran and Dembele on the wings were the only ones involved in the attack. We couldn't get Jordi Alba. We couldn't get Mingueza involved because we were so worried about that counterattack. Frankfurt playing a 3-4-3. Yeah. Just doing enough. Kostic, Knopf on that counterattack just kept Mingueza and Jordi Alba pinned back. So we couldn't get them involved in the counterattack. We couldn't get anything going through the middle of the pitch. Ferran and Dembele had to dribble past 3-4 defenders every time they got on the ball. Just wasn't enough. 36th minute, a screamer puts Frankfurt up 2-0. I can't really blame Ter Stegen for that one. It was a rip. But Araujo should have stepped up and stopped it. Play goes on, yada yada, halftime, 2-0 down, we're still in it. Then Aubameyang with a huge miss. Dembele plays one across the face of goal. Aubameyang just needed to tap it in. Just tap it in. And he didn't. Didn't do it. And then the third goal comes along. It was pretty much over from that. Once we were down 3-0, everyone... Excuse me. Once we were down 3-0, Culers around the world felt the letdown. We felt the air get sucked out of the stadium. Unless you were a Frankfurt fan, and chances are you were. We'll get to that in a second. 2 consolation goals, like I said. Sergi Busquets with a nice little half volley from outside of the box. That was after an earlier goal got called back. He was just about a foot offsides. Memphis Depay penalty. It was the 9th minute of stoppage time when the penalty was called. And I was sitting here going, why? Why are you even, like, who cares? We're down 2 goals. They're going to give the penalty. We're going to score it. Then they're going to blow the final whistle, which is exactly what happened. So disappointing, frustrating. Ended on a 4-3 aggregate. Barcelona losing. But again, the big talking point for the match overview is 75% possession, 683 passes, 88 accuracy, still only 4 shots on target. I don't know what unlocks that, folks. I don't know if it's a striker. I don't know if it's another midfielder. I'm really not sure. But Xavi's got to figure that out because that amount of possession has to lead to victories. It just has to. With that out of the way, folks, I'll pause for a second, get caught up on the chat, and then we will get into the good, the bad, and the Barsa. Gaboni says we need to talk about the disgraced fans. We will. We will definitely talk about those fans. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. We will get there, my friend. Speaking of, I got to pull up one more window here, and then we'll get caught up on the chat. Yes, indeed. Let's see. I got to pull this open. Shout out to Pablo Walls Blanco. Hope you're watching, buddy. But if folks are not familiar with Pablo, this is just one of his tweets. But Pablo is up to date on all the inside information going on around the camp now. Honestly, half the news I get comes from this guy. So make sure you are following him on Twitter. Pablo WB Official. Pablo Walls Blanco. Friend to the Stash Squad. Friend to the undefeated Mustache John in particular. And again, shout out if you're watching, buddy. But go ahead and follow him on Twitter, everybody. Check out his news when you get a chance. Anyway, I did not go over for that. I just want to give Pablo a shout out while I was there. I wanted to pull this up. Oh, yeah. Folks, before we even go any further, Pedri. He's injured. It's looking like he's going to be out for the season. Tore his left bicep femoris. That's in his thigh. That's a big one, folks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game of football, but you kind of need your legs. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to kick. All those things, clearly. So, it's a big muscle in the thigh. Pedri's going to be unavailable for the rest of the season. Yay. Anyway, this is what I wanted to get to. This tweet from Pablo here says, might take a look into writing an article about this whole Barcelona ticket disaster. It's quite a niche topic, but fascinated by all the details and have built up knowledge on it. He sure did. Sure did. Barca's ticket system, Socis Grada let's see, I can say the word Grada D'Animacio. Nailed it. Not even going to try with that next one. So Pablo clearly well more up to date, well more read on this topic. Maybe we'll get him on the channel. Maybe he'll fill us in. We'll see. But take a look at that picture. That's what I want everybody to see. Look at this. This is the Camp Nou, in case you didn't know. This isn't just the supporters section. In case you are not familiar with the Camp Nou, we give the supporters section, or the away fans, one little section up in the corner of the stadium. The fact that there were this many white kits in the Camp Nou is disgusting. If you are a Barcelona supporter, if you are a Culers, and you sold your ticket to this match, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have to give away your jerseys. You should never be allowed to have season tickets ever again. It's a disgrace, an absolute hands down disgrace. I'm flabbergasted. There's a lot of things to be upset about regarding this match, and we'll go over it in the match review. We'll go into detail about the things that I'm upset about, but in particular this. It's just disgusting to see. There were times when Barcelona was getting whistled at the Camp Nou in possession. This should never happen again. Never happen again. The fact that Barcelona are in a must-win match in the second leg of a quarterfinal in a European tournament, and you're sitting there as a Culers with a ticket and you go, I should sell this to a Frankfurt fan and make some money off of this. Yeah, that's what this is about, right? This is about me making money. It's not about supporting the club or being there for the community. This is about me making money off of this ticket. You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed. Like I said, you should never be allowed in the stadium again. You should never have access to tickets for Barcelona ever again. You should be removed, banned from the Camp Nou. You should be ashamed of yourself. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting scenes at the Camp Nou. Anyway, I digress. Kudos, it is not a life-changing amount, no. Reports were saying it was like 5 times as much, apparently. Apparently. My goodness, just... Okay. I digress. We've waited long enough, folks. Let's go ahead and go over the good, the bad, and the Barca. We've talked about the match overview. We know what happened. 3-2 Barcelona at home at the Camp Nou. Disgusting. Culers selling their tickets to Frankfurt supporters. Whatever. Okay. Let's start off on a positive note. What was good about the match? There wasn't a lot. You could look to those consolation goals, but they're consolation goals. Happy for Busquets to score one. Happy for Memphis to get one on the score sheet, even if it's from the penalty spot. One of the good things, I'll argue, is that we can now fully focus on La Liga. I know there's not a trophy to fight for necessarily. Mathematically, we're still in it, but I'm not going to sit here and say that we should be looking at that as something to be optimistic about. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Just the fact that we can focus on the Liga is good. All right, but specifically about this match, for the second match in a row, the good box goes to Gavi. I really loved what I saw from him as I put him fully in the box. Get right then. Hang on. Gavi, why are you Move up. There we go. Hang on. He's just like hanging outside of the box here. Get back in that box. There we go. Anyway, for the second match in the row, the good box goes to Gavi. Tremendous effort. Surprise start because Frankie de Jong apparently was fighting off an illness 2 days going into this match. 2 days before this match, he started getting sick. I did not see any reports. I don't know about you all, but Frankie de Jong unavailable due to illness. Gavi steps in a big match, and he performed. If you saw the highlights from the watch-along party, or if you were here for the live watch-along party, you saw that Gavi had a tremendous little back heel flick to set up one of the goal-scoring opportunities for Barcelona. Didn't come into fruition, but not Gavi's fault. So in a match where we did not have a lot of good performances, it's good to shout out somebody like the young Gavi. Give him that good box from yesterday's match. Turning over to what was bad about the match. And like I said, there was a lot. There was a lot bad about the match. There was a lot bad about the match. One thing, like I said, already mentioned it, but this image really says it all. The fact that Culers sold their tickets to Frankfurt fans and let this happen in the Camp Nou. This is a picture of the Camp Nou in a must-win match, elimination match for Barcelona, and it's not filled with Blaugrana. It's filled with the Blanco. And it's not even Real Madrid. It's Frankfurt. Unbelievable. Should not be happening. Everyone should be embarrassed by that. But that's not even what's going in the bad box. There is more, of course. Garcia. Hang on, pause. Garcia with that penalty. 2 hands around the player, pulls him down. Araujo not stepping up to stop the second goal he had all day. I was sitting here screaming, step up, step up, step up. Come on, Araujo, step up, and then goal. Absolutely ridiculous. We could take it easy on folks and just say, well, we could give the bad box to the fact that we didn't have Dest, that we didn't have PK, that Pedri had to go off at halftime. We could make our excuses. I'm tempted to give it to Aubameyang for not finishing his one opportunity that he had. But at the end of the day, folks, 75% possession and outscored, outshot. I hate to do it, but Xavi, my guy, you got to go in the bad box. You have to figure out something else. The opening 25 minutes, aside from giving up the goal, which is completely Eric's fault, Barcelona were very, very one-dimensional. Dembele or Ferran isolated on the wing, running at 3-4 defenders because Frankfurt were so good at creating traps on those wings. They had no concern about Barcelona getting in. I'll say that again. They had no concern about Barcelona penetrating through the middle there, through the middle of the pitch. They had no concerns about Aubameyang or Busquets getting through there to create chances. So we are completely one-dimensional out on the wings. No overlap from Jordi Alba or Mingueza because as soon as they overlap, we get caught on the counterattack. So listen, a lot of this is more, you got to give Frankfurt credit, but even with giving Frankfurt full credit where credit is due, Xavi, you got to be able to mix it up. You got to be able to change up the tactics. You got to figure something else out other than plan A. When plan A isn't working, you got to change it up. And Xavi's typically great at this. Typically, it doesn't take long at all for Xavi to change up the tactics, change up the personnel. Didn't happen this time, folks. Did not happen this time. A horrendous match for Barcelona. And yes, we had enough out on the pitch that we should have won. So you got to say, the bad box goes to Xavi. Xavi, get in the box. All right, shake it off. Shake it off, folks. Shake it off. We're going to try to still be positive, okay? We're going to turn our sights now to what was Barsa about the match. Had to kind of dig deep for this one, okay? There wasn't a lot of positives. Again, the 2 goals we had, consolation goals, I don't even really like acknowledging them. We basically lost this one 3-0. One of the positive things that I did see was Ferran Torres. He had his best match in terms of taking on players on the dribble. I saw some things from Ferran Torres that I had not seen before. In the open field, taking on, like I said, 2-3 defenders. The magic that he was creating on the ball, I love to see it. Before Barcelona went down 3-0 and we were still in this match, we were seeing some exciting things from Ferran. He was giving us some hope, some optimism. Yes, we were also seeing it from Dembele, but as you know, Dembele is on a hiatus, a temporary ban from post-match awards until he signs a reasonable contract, okay? The ridiculous demands he had in January just put such a sour taste in my mouth that he is on a temporary ban from the match awards. When we talk about him, we put on Dembele cam, because even when he does well, we can't fully celebrate him. So I will acknowledge that for the first 25 minutes of the match, Dembele came in with a great mindset, was proactive, was quick to attack when he was on the ball, but so was Ferran Torres. And Ferran's not banned from these match awards. So Ferran Torres, because it was his best match that I've seen in terms of his attacking creativity on the ball, running at defenders, liking what I'm seeing, he gets the Barsa box for that one. This is where it gets real tough, folks. I'll take a sip of coffee here first. I mentioned earlier, maybe we figure out something else for a mustache man of the match for these types of matches, because the 3-2 is just misleading. It wasn't really that close of a match. I mean, the stats aren't telling the full story here, folks. It could have been 3-0, it could have been 4-0, it could have been 5-0. With that said, when Frankie de Jong came off the bench, for moments, Barcelona actually looked like we were in it. Frankie de Jong, through not playing and then being introduced into the match, has his value increased. I love Gavi, I love Pedri, but they were not doing enough in front of Busquets. Turns out Pedri's injured, so that probably had something to do with it. Who knows how much of that first half he was playing injured. But the fact that Frankie comes on, and right away he's dribbling through the lines. He's splitting the lines with passes. He's winning the ball back defensively. For those of you that were sitting here going, oh, Frankie de Jong out. The future is Gavi and Pedri and Nico. We can just sell Frankie de Jong. He's useless. He can't do anything. He blah, 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 blah. Come on now. You should know better at this point. So Frankie de Jong off the bench. No goals, no assists, but the influence that he had, the impact that he had coming off the bench, I wanted to acknowledge. It was one of the few positive points from this match. So the good was Gavi's performance, the heart, the undefeated mentality. I love to see it from the kid. The bad, hate to say it, it's Xavi. Got the tactics wrong. Yes, we had some injuries to deal with. Des not fully fit. PK unavailable. Pedri had to come off at halftime. I give it to you, Xavi. But you have to put the blame on the manager at times. 75% possession and outscored. Unacceptable. The Barsa box goes to Ferran for his ability to create on the ball, running at the defenders, 2, 3, 4 defenders at a time. The mustache man of the match goes to de Jong for opening the game up once he came off the bench. Didn't turn things around, but football is not a one-man sport. We know that. With all of that said, folks, with the good, the bad, the Barsa, the mustache man of the match out of the way, just keep your heads up, okay? This is a message for all Culers now. Keep your heads up. It's Europa League at the end of the day, all right? It's disappointing to lose. It's always disappointing to lose. And let's not make excuses. Let's not downplay things, okay? There's going to be trolling. There's going to be haters, but they don't matter when we're winning. They don't matter when we're lose. Barcelona have the brightest future in Europe. We have the best young squad in Europe. We're missing a couple of little pieces to complete this picture that we are building. But folks, again, think about where we were 6 months ago and think about where we are now. That will put a smile on your face, all right? We've got a long summer coming up for Barcelona. Xavi ball gets fully implemented. New faces coming in. Players returning from injury. Ansu Fati in particular. Folks, there's a lot to be excited about. So yes, there's no more European football I'll say that again. There's no more European football for Barcelona, but there is still plenty to be excited about. Plenty to be excited about. So heads up, folks. We got a bright future at Barcelona. Mwah. Mwah. All right. So that's it for the good, the bad, and the Barca match recap. This is where I will turn to the chat, get some reactions. If you're watching this on replay, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What would you change for the good, the bad, the Barca, and the mustache man of the match? Let's turn to the chat, get caught up on your thoughts. What do you think, folks? What do you think? Prashant says, put us in the mustache man of the match for handling this heartbreak. Fair, Prashant. I should have shouted out the Stash Squad for staying with it. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, FV, that's no reason to stop watching Barcelona. Listen, here's the thing, folks. If you're watching Barcelona to watch them win trophies, you are missing the beauty of Barcelona. You are missing the reason why we love the game and the sport. Okay? I love watching Barcelona because of the way they play the game. It is the most beautiful football on the planet. Let me say that again. It is the most beautiful football on the planet. On the planet. When you see the Barcelona style of football fully implemented, when Xavi ball is in full effect, okay, and even before that, in the era of Frank Rijkaard to Pep Guardiola to now Xavi, when you're seeing the Barcelona DNA out there on the pitch, it gives me chills just thinking about it. So I don't care about the trophies. I care about the way that Barcelona plays the game. The way that they play gives me so much joy and excitement that I don't care about the trophies. A Barcelona match in a friendly is sometimes more enjoyable to me than a championship match for somebody else. So you got to be here for the right reasons, folks. Otherwise, you're missing it. You're completely missing it. If you're a Barcelona fan for the trophies, you're in it for the wrong reasons. I'm telling you, you got to be in here for the beauty of the game, for the love of the way that it's played. That's why we love Barcelona, not because of the trophies. Just keep that in mind, folks. Little message for all my Culers out there. Just saying. Anyway. BJ says we are betrayed by our fans. Absolutely. We talked about that earlier. Disgusting from Barcelona fans. Absolutely disgusting. Finish says we are 4 years away from Champions League contenders. That's a bit excessive. 4 years is, nah, dude. Think about how much progress we've made in 6 months. And you're saying 4 years? We're a center back, a striker, and a defensive mid sub away from being Champions League contenders. I gotta curve some of your guys' reactions to this because everyone's gonna just try to negate the progress that we've made over the last 6 months. Ovi says Xavi's system is over-dependent on wings. Sure, we have to be able to play through the middle. I said that earlier. We have to be able to play through the middle. That is very true. Louis says, I enjoyed Valverde's 17-18 season. Not me. Valverde era was basically Mourinho without the ridiculous antics. It was boring, defensive, let's win 1-0 football. Hated the Valverde era. Excuse me. Pomez, we were 100% outnumbered. There's a whole story behind that. I'm going to try to connect with my buddy Pablo about it because I think he knows a lot more than I do about it. There was something going on. For some reason, the Culers were not in the stands right behind the stadium for most of the match. I don't know if there was a protest going on or whatever, but it was not good. Not good. Not good, folks. Catching up on the chat. Speaking of the chat, actually, it's a good time to shout out the Culers from last week. Dun, dun, dun. Ovi coming in at number 1. Culers, number 2. Chris E, number 3. Ryan Scott coming in at number 4. Prashanth rounding out the top 5. Ayush, the Stash Mod, coming in at number 6. Matinho, number 7. Yankee Mojo, number 8. Kazi, number 9. Marcus, number 10. That is the coolest from this past week. If you want to be on the coolest list, all you gotta do, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when we're live, and then come hang out with the Stash Squad. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wake up and Barsa. It's live Barcelona news. We have a little bit of caffeine. We have some conversation with Culers from around the world as we catch up on all the news coming out of the Camp Nou. And then all the Barcelona matches, which all we got left is La Liga now. But we're here live for all the Barcelona matches. I was about to say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I wish Barcelona played 3 days a week. All the Barcelona matches, I do the commentary. You participate in the chat with Culers from around the world as we cheer on the Blaugrana. It's a great time to be a Culers, my friends, despite the loss yesterday. We have the brightest future in Europe. We have the best core collection of young players to build off of. We just need a couple more pieces, like I said, to complete this picture. We'll be all right. Kuda's calling out Kyle for dropping off the top 10. Kyle just got into Peru. He's been busy. You know what I mean? He'll get back to it. Shout out to Kyle Cash. I love you, buddy. It is what it is. For those of you that I missed, I know I was not super active with the chat today, so I apologize, but I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with me. Heinrich, hello. Levi, of course, left back Levi in here with us. Finish, thanks for coming and hanging out. Kimmy, I see you in there. Kudis, of course, the Stash Commander. Ovi, I got a lot of the regulars in here. Harris, hello. Okay, yes, now time to go get healthy. You said it, Kudis. I'm going to go get some fresh air. I'm going to get my mind right. We're going to take on the day, all right? I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Next match is Cadiz, which is Monday. I got to finagle some things around to make sure I'm available for the watch party. More to come on that, okay? But the next time you'll see me is Wake Up in Barsa right here on the Undefeated channel Monday morning. We'll be live 7 a.m. We'll do a little match preview for the match against Cadiz coming up in La Liga. Listen, we can hold on to a little sliver of hope that Real Madrid will lose to Atletico and Sevilla and Betis on the last day, and then we win the rest of our matches and win La Liga. We can hold on to that little sliver of hope if we want to. Just saying. Anyway, like I said, folks, head up. We got a bright future. Shake it off. I love you. The Stash Squad loves you. Okay, you've got a community of Culers here to support you. If you need a pick-me-up, throw a comment in there. I'll respond back. I'm here for you. The Stash Squad is here for you. We love you. Culers from around the world. Stick together. All right? Good times and bad. That's what we're here for on the Undefeated community. With that out of the way, my friends, go out there, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Monday morning for Wake Up in Barsa, match preview for Cadiz. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride, and I'll catch y'all next time. Mwah.